In a world that constantly demands urgency, staying calm might seem like a luxury or worse, a sign of weakness. But what if I told you that calmness is not just a passive state, but one of the most powerful traits you can develop? In moments when everything feels like it's falling apart, the ability to remain calm becomes your greatest weapon. While others are consumed by anxiety, fear, and emotional chaos, the calm person sees things clearly. They think, they respond, they don't just react. Calmness is not silence, it's control. It's command, it's leadership. Imagine two people in the same crisis. One is pacing nervously, making decisions from a place of fear. The other takes a deep breath, grounds themselves, and assesses the situation logically. Who do you think makes better choices? Who do others trust? The one who doesn't panic. The one who embodies stillness when everything else is shaking. Calmness allows you to think clearly, speak wisely, and act with precision. It helps you protect your energy, maintain your dignity, and preserve your focus in the moments that matter the most. It's easy to be calm when everything is going your way, but real calm is forged in adversity. It's built when life tests you with disappointment, betrayal, delays, or injustice. The calm person does not deny the pain, they accept it. They embrace it, and they respond, not with drama, but with direction. Because calm people are not weak, they're warriors in disguise. They fight battles internally so the world never sees the storm. They master themselves, not for show, but for survival. Why is calmness so rare? Because we live in a world that teaches us to react quickly. Fast responses are seen as smart, emotional outbursts are seen as honest, and chaos is often confused with passion. But emotional intelligence, true emotional mastery, is knowing when to pause, when to breathe, and when to simply observe without judgment. It's knowing that not every opinion deserves your response, not every insult deserves your energy, and not every fire needs your fuel. Sometimes, the best power move is to do nothing and let time, truth, and wisdom do the talking. Calmness also protects your health. Studies have shown that people who remain calm under pressure have lower blood pressure, better heart health, and stronger immune systems. But beyond biology, calmness protects your purpose. When your mind is clear, your vision becomes sharp. You don't waste time chasing distractions or engaging in unnecessary conflict. You become focused, intentional, and effective. You don't let external noise control your internal peace. You choose your mood. You own your power. Think about the people you admire most. Think about the leaders, the mentors, the icons. Are they easily triggered, or do they move with grace, confidence, and presence? The calm ones are unforgettable. Their silence says more than others shouting. Their steadiness speaks louder than others panic. Because calmness is magnetic. It draws people in. It creates trust. It brings a sense of safety that cannot be faked. But don't confuse calm with indifference. Being calm doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care deeply but wisely. It means you're not going to ruin your inner world for the sake of temporary noise. It means you are rooted, you're grounded. You've trained yourself to hold peace in one hand and power in the other. You've become the type of person that storms fear. It's a journey, of course. Staying calm takes practice. It means learning to breathe through discomfort. It means choosing your response, instead of letting your emotions choose it for you. It means being emotionally mature enough to understand that your peace is your responsibility. No one else can give it to you, and no one else can take it away unless you allow them. So the next time someone tries to push your buttons, pause. The next time life throws chaos at your door, stay still. The next time you feel like shouting, wait. In that moment of stillness, you are choosing to protect your energy. You are choosing growth over ego. You are choosing wisdom over impulse. You are choosing to be powerful, not just loud. And if you ever feel like you're falling short, like the pressure is too much, and your calm is slipping, remember this. Every time you stay calm, you are not just changing that moment. You are rewiring your brain. You are strengthening your character. You are becoming a person who doesn't just survive stress, you transform it. You rise above it. Today, I challenge you become that person. The one who walks into a room and brings peace, not tension. The one who listens more than they speak. The one who controls the atmosphere simply by controlling their own reactions. Let calm be your secret strength. Let it guide your words, your decisions, your life. Be so calm that nothing outside you can shake what's inside you. This is your power. Claim it. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to achieve extraordinary success while others struggle to get by? Why does one person's small, daily actions lead to a remarkable transformation over time, while someone else's big bursts of effort fizzle out quickly. The secret isn't luck, talent, or even genius, it's consistency. Consistent effort is the silent engine behind every great accomplishment. It's the invisible thread that connects today's small steps to tomorrow's monumental breakthroughs. The truth is, the world loves instant gratification. We live in a culture where everyone wants fast results, overnight success, or a sudden breakthrough. But the harsh reality is that extraordinary results rarely come from a single moment of brilliance or a quick sprint. Instead, they come from a long, steady commitment to showing up day after day, putting in the work, and refusing to give up even when progress feels invisible. Consistency is what turns ordinary people into legends. It is the relentless repetition of good habits, the unwavering focus on your goals, and the discipline to push through obstacles that builds a foundation no one can shake. Imagine planting a seed. You don't water it once and expect a full-grown tree the next day. You nurture it, consistently watering, fertilizing, protecting it from pests. Each day, the seed is growing beneath the surface, even if you can't see it. That's exactly how consistent effort works in your life and career. Every small action you take is a drop of water, a ray of sunshine helping your dreams grow stronger. Sometimes progress is invisible, but it's happening. Every consistent choice you make, whether it's practicing a skill, working on your mindset, or taking care of your health, is investing in your future success. One of the most inspiring examples of consistent effort can be found in the stories of the greatest athletes, artists, entrepreneurs, and leaders. Take the legendary basketball player Michael Jordan, who once said, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times, I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed." His success was not because of natural talent alone, but because of the countless hours he put in consistently, practicing relentlessly even when no one was watching. Or consider J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. She faced numerous rejections and personal struggles before finally publishing her first book. What set her apart was her persistence, her habit of showing up to write every day, no matter the circumstances. That daily commitment to her craft turned a struggling writer into a global literary icon. Consistency is often misunderstood as monotonous or boring, but nothing could be further from the truth. It's a dynamic process that creates momentum. Once you start moving steadily in the right direction, that momentum builds, propelling you forward. It helps you develop resilience, learn from mistakes, and adapt your approach. And most importantly, it keeps you connected to your goals, reminding you why you started in the first place. Now, let's break down why consistent effort is so effective and how you can harness it for your own extraordinary results. First, consistency builds habits. Habits are the building blocks of success. When you repeat an action regularly, it becomes automatic, no longer requiring willpower or motivation to get started. This frees up mental energy to focus on higher-level challenges. For example, if you commit to writing for 30 minutes every day, eventually it becomes a natural part of your routine. You don't have to convince yourself or rely on fleeting inspiration. Your brain knows what to expect, and your productivity skyrockets. Second, consistent effort compounds over time. Just like money grows with compound interest, your actions grow exponentially when you stick with them. Learning a new skill, improving your health, building a business, none of these happen overnight, but they all respond to the magic of compound effort. The key is to trust the process and understand that small improvements each day add up to massive gains over months and years. Remember the story of the Chinese bamboo tree? It spends years growing its roots underground with little visible growth. But once the roots are strong enough, the tree shoots up rapidly, growing several feet in a short time. Your consistent effort is like those roots, preparing you for rapid growth when the time is right. Third, being consistent helps you overcome setbacks. Failure and obstacles are inevitable on any meaningful journey. What separates those who succeed from those who quit is their ability to keep going despite difficulties. When you've built the habit of showing up regularly, you don't let a bad day or temporary failure derail you. You learn to view setbacks as feedback, not final judgments. Consistency gives you the strength to rise again and again, building an unshakable foundation of perseverance. Fourth, consistent effort builds confidence. When you know you've put in the work day after day, you begin to trust yourself more. You gain a sense of control over your destiny and an internal validation that no external approval can match. Confidence is not something you are born with. It is earned through consistent actions and visible progress. Every step you take forward, no matter how small, is proof that you are capable of growth and success. So, how can you apply this principle in your own life starting today? Begin by clarifying your goals. What is the extraordinary result you want to create? Be specific. Instead of vague wishes, define measurable outcomes. This clarity will fuel your motivation and make your consistent actions more purposeful. Next, break your goals into small, manageable daily actions. Success is not about giant leaps, it's about steady, meaningful steps. Whether it's practicing a skill for 15 minutes, reaching out to one potential client, or reading a few pages of a book each day, find actions that you can commit to consistently without overwhelming yourself. Create a routine and stick to it. Design your day so that your key actions become habits. Use reminders, accountability partners, or journals to track your progress. Celebrate small wins to keep your motivation alive. Accept that some days will be harder than others. When you face resistance, remind yourself why you started. Use those moments to strengthen your discipline and resilience. Understand that consistency does not mean perfection, it means persistence. Surround yourself with supportive people who encourage your efforts. Community and accountability can keep you on track and provide valuable encouragement during tough times. Finally, be patient. Extraordinary results don't appear overnight, but when you commit to consistent effort, they become inevitable. Trust the process. Keep planting your seeds daily, knowing that your harvest is coming. The power to create extraordinary results lies in your hands. It's not reserved for a lucky few. It's available to anyone willing to show up consistently and put in the work. The difference between where you are today and where you want to be is the daily effort you choose to make. Start today. Pick one meaningful action that will move you closer to your goal and commit to doing it every day for the next 30 days. No excuses, no waiting for motivation, just commitment. Watch how this simple act transforms your mindset, your habits, and ultimately your life. Remember, greatness is not born from momentary brilliance, but from the power of consistency. Your extraordinary results are waiting. All you have to do is keep going. Have you ever stood at the edge of your dreams, feeling an invisible wall between you and your goals? Maybe you've been hit with failures that shook your confidence, or unexpected setbacks that made you question if the journey is even worth it. You're not alone. Everyone who has ever achieved something remarkable has faced moments where the path seemed blocked by insurmountable obstacles. The difference between those who break through and those who give up isn't luck, it's mindset. Create a routine and stick to it. Design your day so that your key actions become habits. Use reminders, accountability partners, or journals to track your progress. Celebrate small wins to keep your motivation alive. Accept that some days will be harder than others. When you face resistance, remind yourself why you started. Use those moments to strengthen your discipline and resilience. Understand that consistency does not mean perfection, it means persistence. Surround yourself with supportive people who encourage your efforts. Community and accountability can keep you on track and provide valuable encouragement during tough times. Finally, be patient. Extraordinary results don't appear overnight, but when you commit to consistent effort, they become inevitable. Trust the process. Keep planting your seeds daily, knowing that your harvest is coming. The power to create extraordinary results lies in your hands. It's not reserved for a lucky few. It's available to anyone willing to show up consistently and put in the work. The difference between where you are today and where you want to be is the daily effort you choose to make. Start today. Pick one meaningful action that will move you closer to your goal and commit to doing it every day for the next 30 days. No excuses, no waiting for motivation, just commitment. Watch how this simple act transforms your mindset, your habits, and ultimately your life. Remember, greatness is not born from momentary brilliance, but from the power of consistency. Your extraordinary results are waiting. All you have to do is keep going. Have you ever stood at the edge of your dreams, feeling an invisible wall between you and your goals? Maybe you've been hit with failures that shook your confidence, or unexpected setbacks that made you question if the journey is even worth it. You're not alone. Everyone who has ever achieved something remarkable has faced moments where the path seemed blocked by insurmountable obstacles. The difference between those who break through and those who give up isn't luck, it's mindset. Every challenge you face and overcome builds your capacity for future success. The skills and traits you develop, resilience, creativity, problem solving, patience, are your greatest assets. They prepare you not just to survive obstacles, but to thrive in spite of them. So, what's your call to action today? The next time life puts a challenge in your path, don't shrink away or lose hope. Instead, stop and ask, what opportunity is hidden here? How can I use this obstacle to become stronger, wiser, and more capable? Commit yourself to learning from every setback and turning it into a stepping stone toward your goals. Remember, obstacles aren't there to stop you, they're there to prepare you. When you embrace them with courage and determination, you unlock the power to transform your life. The journey may be tough, but the destination is worth every struggle. Step boldly into your challenges today and watch how you turn adversity into opportunity. Have you ever sat alone in the silence of your room and felt like the world was just too heavy? Like your chest was sinking under a pressure you couldn't name? Like no one truly sees the battles you're fighting every single day? If you have, then this message is for you, not as a cliche, not as empty inspiration, but as a reminder of something real. There is a power within you that can move mountains, even when you feel like collapsing. You may not see it right now. Maybe you're tired. Maybe life has knocked you down more times than you can count. Maybe you're dealing with heartbreak, loss, failure, rejection, or just the overwhelming noise of life constantly telling you that you're not enough. But let me tell you something, your strength is not in how loud you are, how successful you've become, or how many battles you've won. Your strength is in the fact that you're still here, still breathing, still standing despite it all. That, right there, is courage. The world often celebrates external victories, promotions, trophies, fame, but the greatest victories are the ones no one sees. Like the time you got out of bed, even though anxiety was screaming in your head. Like the moment you forgave someone who never apologized. Like the night you cried yourself to sleep but still woke up and faced the next day. These are not signs of weakness, these are the truest definitions of strength. Inner strength doesn't announce itself with thunder. It shows up quietly, like a flicker of light in a dark cave. It's the voice inside you that whispers, try again, when everything in you wants to give up. It's the heartbeat that keeps going when you're emotionally numb. It's the decision to keep loving, even after your heart has been shattered. This strength, this power doesn't come from the outside. It lives deep inside your soul. We're conditioned to look outward for validation. We think we'll feel stronger once we have the job, the relationship, the recognition. But the truth is, all of those things are fleeting. The only thing that stays with you, that truly defines you, is the power within. That inner reservoir of resilience, determination, and faith that is your true armor. And no one can take it away from you. Think about the moments in your life when you thought, I can't go on. But you did. You're here, reading this, breathing, living. That means something. That means that no matter what tried to break you, it failed. Maybe it left a scar. Maybe it changed you. But it didn't defeat you. That's what strength looks like, not perfection, but persistence. You are not your fears. You are not your past. You are not your failures. You are the fire that survived the burn, the light that kept shining when the night refused to end. You have already overcome more than most people know, and still you rise, still you try, still you hope. That is powerful, that is rare, that is beautiful. We often look at others and think, they have it all figured out. They're so strong. But the strongest people are not the ones who never fall. They're the ones who fall and rise 1,000 times. They're the ones who carry pain with grace, who fight battles silently, who heal alone. And that might just be you. Maybe no one claps for your resilience. Maybe your victories are unseen. But that doesn't make them any less real. You are the hero of your own story. You are the miracle you've been waiting for. It's time to stop underestimating yourself. Stop shrinking. Stop apologizing for your existence. You are not here to live in the shadows. You are not here to simply survive. You are here to live fully, boldly, unapologetically, to rise from your ruins, to speak life into your dreams, to carry yourself with pride, not because you have it all together, but because you're choosing to show up anyway. Your inner strength isn't something you earn, it's something you remember. It's already there under the doubt, beneath the fear, behind the hurt. It's waiting for you to tap into it, to trust it, and once you do, you become unstoppable. Life will still throw storms your way, but you won't be the same. You'll bend, but you won't break. You'll cry, but you won't quit. Because now, you know what you're made of. The world needs more people who are brave enough to feel deeply, love fiercely, and rise again and again. The world needs your story, your heart, your strength. Don't hide it. Don't water it down. Let your pain become your power. Let your trials become your testimony. If you're going through a hard season right now, hold on. This is not your ending. This is your becoming.
Every breakdown is a doorway to a breakthrough. Every tear you've cried has watered the roots of something extraordinary inside you, and soon you will bloom. So here's your call to action, not a dramatic leap, but a simple, powerful promise to yourself. I will not give up on me. Say it out loud, whisper it, write it down, let it become your truth. Let it guide your steps, because when you truly believe in the power within you, nothing can hold you back. This life is yours, this strength is yours, and the world hasn't seen the best of you yet. Now is the time to rise, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Now, with all your flaws, with all your fears, with all your fire, you are more powerful than you know. You always have been. There are moments in life when the ground beneath our feet seems to shatter, when everything we believe to be stable collapses without warning. In those moments, it feels as though the universe has turned its back on us. We question our worth, our decisions, and sometimes even our very existence. But buried deep within these moments of darkness lies an unshakable truth. Adversity is not the end of our story. It is often the beginning of a new and more powerful chapter. The pain we endure, the storms we weather, and the failures we face are not punishments. They are hidden guides, silently shaping us into the person we were always meant to become. Every person you admire, every hero you've heard of, every soul who inspires you, has walked through their own fire. They've faced their own sleepless nights, battled their inner doubts, and wondered whether they had the strength to continue. But what separates those who rise from those who remain stuck in the ashes is one simple decision: to keep going. It's not about being unbreakable, it's about being willing to rebuild, even with trembling hands. Adversity strips us bare. It removes the comfort zones, the safety nets, and the illusions we hold on to. And in that vulnerable, uncertain space, something magical happens. We discover who we truly are. Adversity forces us to dig deep, to awaken parts of ourselves we never knew existed. It challenges us to find meaning in our struggle and purpose in our pain. When you are knocked down and the noise of the world fades, that is when you begin to hear your own inner voice, the one that reminds you of your strength, your resilience, your worth. That voice is quiet at first, like a whisper in the wind. But if you listen closely and trust in its truth, it will become louder than the doubts, louder than the fears, louder than the voices that told you you'd never make it. And that voice will lead you home to your purpose. Purpose is not found in comfort. It is not discovered when everything is going right. Purpose reveals itself in the fire, in the struggle, in the heartbreak. It emerges when you are tested and find that you are stronger than you ever imagined. It shows up when you use your pain to help someone else, when you decide that your story will be one of triumph, not tragedy. In adversity, we are handed a choice to shrink or to rise. And it is in choosing to rise, again and again, that we uncover the reason we were placed on this earth. Think about it. The person who lost their job but used it as a push to start a business. The woman who walked away from a toxic relationship and found her voice. The young man who grew up in poverty but swore he would rewrite his story. These are not people born with privilege or luck. These are people who took adversity and turned it into fuel. They stopped asking, "Why me?" and started asking, "What now?" They didn't wait for the world to save them. They decided to become their own heroes. And you can too. If you're going through something right now, if you feel lost, broken, or uncertain, I want you to pause and take a deep breath. This is not the end. This is the middle. The most powerful part of your story is being written right now, in the struggle, in the silence, in the solitude. You are being forged into someone who will not only survive, but thrive. Your tears, your scars, your setbacks, they are not signs of weakness. They are proof that you are fighting, that you are growing, that you are alive. And being alive means you still have time. You still have power. You still have a choice. Choose to believe in your comeback. Choose to see the strength in your scars. Choose to trust that this pain has a purpose, even if you can't see it yet. Don't run from your challenges. Face them. Embrace them. Let them teach you, mold you, transform you. One day, you'll look back at this season of your life not with bitterness, but with gratitude. You'll see how it pushed you, how it shaped you, how it led you to exactly where you needed to be. And when that day comes, you'll have a story to tell, not a story of defeat, but a story of redemption. You'll be able to say, "I was broken, but I rebuilt. I was lost, but I found myself. I was afraid, but I chose courage." And someone, somewhere, will hear your story and find the strength to rise from their own darkness. That is the power of adversity. That is the beauty of struggle. It doesn't just transform you, it gives you the power to transform others. So I ask you now, will you allow this hardship to define you, or will you use it to discover who you really are? Will you stay in the shadows of pain, or will you step into the light of purpose? The decision is yours. And I believe, with everything in me, that you were born to rise. You were born to fight. You were born to shine, not in spite of your adversity, but because of it. Now is the time. Stand tall, look your challenges in the eye, and say, "You will not break me. I will use you. I will grow through you, and I will become everything I was meant to be." Because your story is not over, it is just beginning. And the next chapter is yours to write. There's a moment, quiet, personal, and often terrifying when you realize no one is coming to rescue you. Not your parents, not your mentors, not some cosmic sign. That moment feels like standing at the edge of a cliff with no safety net, only the echo of your own breath. And yet, buried in that fear is a strange kind of freedom, the understanding that you hold the power, that everything you've ever dreamed of, feared, desired, and doubted, it's all sitting quietly inside you, waiting to be claimed. That truth, it changes everything, because the second you realize you're responsible for your own story is the second you begin to truly live.
You see, we've been trained since childhood to wait for instruction. Raise your hand, wait your turn, ask for permission. Somewhere along the way, we forgot that the world doesn't work like a classroom. In life, waiting too long kills momentum. How many people have sat still for years, waiting for the perfect time? How many voices were never heard because someone waited too long to speak? Dreams decay in the waiting rooms of life. Potential turns bitter when it's buried under excuses and fears disguised as logic. The world is full of people with potential, but very few take full ownership of it. Fewer still take action. There is no right time to begin. There is only time, and whether or not you decide to use it. If you've been sitting still, convinced that clarity will strike like lightning, you're wasting precious years. Clarity comes from movement. You learn who you are by doing, not by planning. And even when the path ahead is unclear, moving forward even blindly teaches you more than standing still ever will. You become confident by taking risks, not by reading about them. You grow brave by walking into the storm, not by waiting for the skies to clear. Imagine this. 5 years from now, you're exactly where you are today. Still dreaming, still doubting, still waiting. Can you live with that? Can you accept that version of your life? Or does it make your chest tighten, your throat clench? Good. That discomfort is a gift. It's your soul screaming for movement, for growth, for life. Because the truth is, deep down, you know you were meant for more. You know your life has purpose. You feel it in quiet moments, in that whisper that says, "I'm not supposed to settle." But you can't rise if you're clinging to comfort. You can't grow if you won't risk. The gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't filled with talent, money, or luck. It's filled with courage. Raw, trembling, imperfect courage. The kind that shows up before you feel ready. The kind that steps forward even when the path isn't lit. The kind that says, "I'll figure it out as I go." No one is coming to push you. No one is going to hand you a checklist and walk you into your destiny. That is your work. That is your responsibility. Because ownership is the first step toward transformation. You must own your habits, your patterns, your mistakes, your excuses. Not to shame yourself, but to free yourself. Because when you say, "It's my fault," you also say, "It's within my power to change." And once you start, something beautiful happens. The universe responds to motion. Doors open, connections appear, skills sharpen, the ground becomes steady beneath your feet. But none of that happens unless you take the first step. A step that might be messy, unclear, imperfect, but it's a step, and that matters more than you know. Think of every great person you admire. They didn't begin with certainty. They didn't wait for the stars to align. They began, they risked, they failed, they learned, they got back up. Again and again and again. You are no different. You don't lack potential, you lack proof. And that proof only comes when you stop talking and start doing. So today, not tomorrow, not Monday, not after your next paycheck or promotion today, you decide. You decide to stop blaming others, to stop hiding, to stop making your past an excuse for your future. You decide that you're worthy of the life you desire, not someday, but now. Even if you don't feel ready. Especially if you don't feel ready. Read that again. Even if you don't feel ready. Especially if you don't feel ready. Readiness is a myth. Readiness is the comfortable lie that keeps people stuck for decades. It's the voice in your head that says, "Who am I to try this? What if I fail?" You silence that voice by proving it wrong through action. You silence it every time you do the thing scared, every time you choose growth over fear, every time you show up when quitting would be easier. And yes, the road will be hard. You will face failure. People will doubt you. Some will mock you. But you will be stronger because of it. You will become someone who others look to and say, "How did they do it?" And the answer will always be the same. I stopped waiting. I started building. You don't have to start big. Start with what you have, where you are, with the skills you know. Just begin. Because momentum is magic. Action builds confidence. And once you taste progress, once you feel your own power, you'll never want to stop. Take 5 minutes after reading this. Write down one thing you've been putting off. One thing you know could change your life if you had the courage to do it. A conversation, a commitment, a course, a risk. Write it down. Then take the first step toward it. Right now. Not next week. Not when you feel inspired again. Now. Why now? Because the clock is ticking. Your life is not on pause. Time is not waiting for your courage to catch up. Every second you hesitate, someone else is taking the opportunity you ignored. Someone else is building the thing you only dreamed about. Someone else is living your version of someday. Don't let your life become a story of almost, of could've, should've, maybe. Make it a story of action, of courage, of legacy. You've waited long enough. For the right time, for validation, for a sign. This is it. This is your sign. This is your moment. Not a whisper, a roar from the universe that says, "Move." Stand up, shake off the fear. Say it out loud, "I am done waiting," and mean it. Let that be the promise you keep to yourself when things get tough. Let that be the phrase you whisper every time you're tempted to quit. Let that become your identity. Because this isn't just about motivation, this is about ownership, about stepping fully into the life you were meant to live. A life that isn't perfect, but is yours. A life built not on chance, but on choice. No one is coming to save you. But that's not a reason to despair. That's your greatest advantage. Because if no one is coming, then everything is in your hands. The change, the breakthrough, the transformation. All of it begins when you stop waiting. And you begin. Right. Now.